what are some of the key challenges with bringing digital assets into an SMSF? I've heard that auditors don't particularly like digital assets when it comes to super. Could you talk us through some of those problems and also how to, avoid them or solve them?
Sure. So the first challenge would be transferring the cash from the SMSF bank account to an exchange or a provider. Many of the banks, almost all of them, actually block the transfers. Trustees don't realise that that's going to happen until they've done it. So we've had clients, for example, that have made even just a $5,000 transfer out of their SMSF, and the bank has gone and frozen not just the SMSF account, but every single one of their accounts, including their business trading accounts. So like in that circumstances, that renders people absolutely frozen because they weren't able to pay their suppliers or their employees. So one of the first recommendations that we make to our clients is that they hold their SMSF bank account separately to all their other accounts for that purpose, but also finding a crypto-friendly bank account that you can use that does permit the transfers is also part of the challenge. So that would be the primary one that people have.
Gotcha. And then when it comes to audits, let's say somebody's managed to invest, what kind of challenges do people see then?
Okay, so what a lot of people don't realise is with an SMSF, unlike other vehicles, the auditors actually have to view and see source documentation for every single transaction that happens in the year. And that's why administrators like us need to charge a fee, because there's a lot of work involved in making sure that we get all of that information to provide to the auditor to be able to, so that they can sign off on the audits. And the auditor numbers in Australia are declining almost as rapidly as financial advisors because the auditors' requirements and the standards are becoming tougher and tougher, and they're the ones that are actually at risk if they sign off on an SMSF audit and it's not compliant. So for that reason, the biggest challenge that digital assets have is verifying that they exist and verifying that the transactions have been in the name of the SMSF and that they are stored appropriately for an SMSF. So the first thing is, if we're talking about the paperwork, is verifying the transactions. Now, with most of the exchanges or the good platforms, you can actually jump on, you can download an end-of-year report, but auditors can't rely on an end-of-year report from a platform because they can't verify that the platform itself is 100% reliable unless that platform has what's called an ASAE 3402 audit comfort assurance. Now, at this point in time, there's not one exchange or platform in Australia that has that audit standard because it's very difficult and it's very expensive to get. An SMSF, as part of their business, is only a very small sector. Right? That's the first challenge. The second challenge is that when it comes to storage, a lot of people store their assets on the cold wallet, which is fine, but they don't realise if they do that, they need to provide the wallet address to the SMSF auditor so that they can actually look it up online and check the electronic ledger to make sure, again, that the assets are held in the name of the SMSF, what the transactions activities were, and to verify that they still exist as at 30 June as per the financial statements. So from an auditor's perspective, there's a lot of work involved in a fund that has crypto for that reason. And that's why investors might find that they pay more for SMSF admin and audit if they have digital assets in the fund, but they have to weigh up, well, they might be paying more, but are the benefits that they're achieving out of that investment worthwhile? And I'd say every single one of my clients would declare absolutely yes, that I've seen invest in that space. So for that reason, at this point, people need to make sure that they're dealing with an AUSTRAC registered exchange if they're investing as a starting point. But also there are certain exchanges that do make the end-of-year reporting for SMSF easier. And they're the ones that we tend to, refer or introduce our clients to have a look at for that reason.